What's up, YouTube? What's the vibe? It's your boy Zebo708, and I'm back with another one. I did a Burlington haul, went to my stores, hit a couple of the Burlingtons up in my area, found quite a bit, and it was pretty impressive. It had a lot of Lattafas. I know in my last video I said that Paris Corner was trying to make a claim of Burlington, but this didn't seem to be the case because Burlington was flooded with Lattafas. Some we've already seen before, some, was pretty new. I've also ran across a few that I have never seen before and didn't really want to take a gamble on them. They were in the $30, $20 range. I could have pulled the trigger on a couple of them, but even doing a little research on them at the time, I still was a little iffy about them. So I decided to just, come on home with what I did grab and then do a little additional research on them. And if they still there when I get back, I might pull the trigger on them. I just didn't get that vibe from them to, bring them back and, review them and add them to the collection. So I have 3 fragrances that I did actually, pick up and bring home. A couple of these I know that you are familiar with because, a lot of reviewers have spoken about them. You probably even saw them in your Burlingtons, but, I had my eye on them and, I always, was intending to grab them, just wasn't too motivated because there was either something else in the, store that I saw that took precedence over grabbing, a couple of fragrances. So it be like that sometimes. Sometimes you'll be intended to grab something and see something else that catch your eye and pique your interest even more. So you will kind of lean toward that one. So in that case, this is what I was eyeing and passing up for a while, but always really wanted because it was something that, piqued my interest in it. So first one, Lattafa's Assad Zanzibar. Now I'm pretty sure you all are, aware with Lattafa's Assad Zanzibar. It's a fragrance that, has been reviewed, many a times. It's just one that I always, pretty much wanted in my collection. I've even had heard a few bad reviews about it, but a lot of the times I don't allow that to affect, my purchases, because I buy my fragrances, based off of, what I think that I would like and what I would love to add to my collection, so I would check out the reviews, do a little research, check the ratings out, how many stars and, things like that. And if I'm still interested, I grab it. But I ain't gonna go into that, too deep. Everybody is different. You pick your fragrances how you pick your fragrances. However, I do take all reviews seriously. If the consensus is saying that, hey, this is bad overall, then, I kind of, would lean toward that until I, smell it for myself. And if I like it, I like it. Like there's a lot of reviews that's saying that Lattafa's Ram Gold is bad. It's horrible, trash. But when I smelled it, it was a fragrance that I really enjoyed And, you know, I love it. So I'm going against the odds on that particular fragrance because to me, it smells good, and that's, you know, how I want to smell. So I've heard some reviews about this, you know, good and bad. You know, some people were saying that it's overhyped, it wasn't worth it, you know, and like I said, I'm gonna be the judge of that for my own, you know, personal taste. So I went ahead and grabbed it, you know, because I want to see for myself, am I gonna like it? You know, you've all seen this a million times probably. So this is gonna be my first time putting it in the air, putting it on skin, and giving it a smell and seeing, you know, how I like it. Atomizer is pretty decent. It's, you know, nothing to call home about, no special, no biggie, no, you know, special treatment about it. However, in the air, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It smells good. It is strong. It's definitely strong because it has that initial burn if you take in too much. You know, your boy leaning all into it. So I'm kind of anxious about smelling it because, you know, again, it's something that I wanted. I'm gonna put it on skin and see how it smells off skin. But this is a fragrance that I kind of had a feeling that I would, and it got a, felt like it was magnetic. Yeah, it is a little magnetic. Kind of had a strong feeling that I would really like this, just because of the note breakdown that I've seen other reviewers do. In most cases, a lot of the bad reviews that this fragrance got was because it was people said that it smelled like something else. So, you know, something that they already had and they didn't want to, you know, buy this, and they already had something that smelled like this. So they never really was saying that it's a bad fragrance. It's just, you know, something that they had already. So to me, I like it. I like it. And I had a feeling that I would like it. Like, you know, this was one of those fragrances that I've heard so much about, and, you know, I just kept pushing it back because there were other fragrances that were popping up that I felt like I needed to grab. And I kind of felt like this will always be there, so I'll grab it when I grab it. I had the opportunity to grab it this time. You know, I was, you know, it's kind of like pushed to, you know, grab it because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and grab it for the simple fact that I was grabbing something else from its same line, which is Lattafa's Assad Bourbon. So I saw this, saw that, grabbed them both. I also saw the OG Assad, which I don't know, I might grab it. I'm just not too inspired to grab it. I'm not really like motivated to get that one. You know, you see it 1,000 times in the store, you walk by it, you know, I've even picked it up before, but I just never was, you know, too motivated to put it in my cart and bring it home. It's just one of those. But when I saw this one and I saw the Zanzibar, I said, you know what? I'm gonna grab both of them. I got the opportunity to. I'm gonna quit passing, you know, passing up on the Zanzibar and go ahead and grab it. So you know, with this one too, it's a big hype behind this one too. A lot of people, you know, speak on this one. They say that it's overhyped, you know, and I heard mixed emotions about it. But again, I judge all fragrances according to my own personal nose and what I get from it, you know. So traditional boxes are basically same style, different colors, which I think, you know, they're basic, but they're pretty decent. I like the graphics, the artwork on it, you know, decent. Something basic. And the same with this one as Zanzibar, you know, I'm going into this with an open mind, and I'm just going to, you know, give it my honest opinion, rate it according to, you know, how I feel about it. I'm not trying to smell to see if I can, you know, identify it as being a clone, or if it's, you know, like something else or inspired by something else. I don't even really care about that. You know, I don't even really care about if my fragrances, you know, are similar, because I know a lot of the times, you know, we'll kind of look in our minds to see what this smell like or what we can compare it to, when in all actuality it's its own fragrance. If it's missing 2 or 3 different notes, it's its own fragrance. You know, and most people would say it's missing something, but to me, in my opinion, you know, I respect it for what it is. And then, guys, we're talking about, you know, good, solid fragrances for, you know, the low. $30 here, $40 there, $20, you know. These are good, you know, good prices for good fragrances. And we already discussed how the Middle East is producing great fragrances. They really doing their thing, and they basically giving them to you, you know, 25, 30, maybe, you know, 40 at the most for a really good fragrance that will last you 6 hours. In some instances, you might even get 8 good hours. So, you know, I can't complain. I really can't. Bottle, basically the same. Different colors. But this is their line. This is their theme. So I can respect that. Test this atomizer. Put it in the air. Decent. Nice little spread on it. Now in the air, this doesn't appear to be as strong as the Zanzibar in the air. Right off the back, the Zanzibar was projecting. That's not to say that this is not, it's not holding its own, because it is. I can smell it, and it's pretty strong. But the Zanzibar, maybe due to, you know, the note breakdown, you know, it's a little more stronger in the air. I'm gonna put this on skin. Yeah, this smell good too. Smell good. Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. This is a beautiful smell. I'm really loving these two. I know that, you know, there's tons of reviews on them. So if you want no breakdowns, you know, you can find them, you know, what's all in them. You can find that. I'm not really going into no breakdowns or, you know, nothing like that, because I have an additional fragrance that I want to break down, that I really want to discuss, because I've never seen this in Burlington. This is one that I grabbed. I never seen it, and I was kind of indecisive and on the fence about it because there were other fragrances, Lattafa fragrances, that were there that I was looking at and I had in my hand and I was trying to decide. So I didn't know much about either fragrances, and I had to really go off of gut feeling because I was blind buying. And, you know, blind buying, you pretty much going off of gut feelings. So with that being said, I got Lattafa's Ajwad Pink to Pink. Check that out. Decent little box. We got the price. That price up there, 19 bucks. So Pink to Pink, I've been hearing different things about this so far as you know, when I was doing my research. You know, it is even described as a unisex fragrance. It's described as, you know, men and women, and I was kind of thrown off by the title of it all, you know, Pink to Pink. And I've seen a lot of reviews from women, but it's categorized as unisex. Now, the most interesting thing about it, when I started doing a little research, I didn't do too much research on it because I just wanted to bring it to y'all so that y'all could see it. If you see it in the stores, you know, you'll have some type of idea instead of just going into it blind. But I did notice that, you know, a lot of the notes, majority of the notes in this fragrance is pink fruits, because it's fruity, it's warm, it's woody. And a lot of the notes, majority of the notes inside of it is pink. So this is the Pink to Pink in its title. It's not necessarily pink as in, you know, something for women. It's Pink to Pink because of the pinks inside of the notes. And that's what, you know, I was like, Pink to Pink, you know, but that's not the case. If you really go into the note breakdown, you'll notice that there's a lot of pink rose, grapefruit, pink pepper. It's a lot of pink that's inside of the notes, which is why I'm assuming they came up with the Pink to Pink. It's a unisex fragrance. I've seen reviews from women and men of this fragrance. So this is the inside. It's a sleeve. Little tab on there for you to pull it out. This is the fragrance. Pink to Pink. The name kind of threw me off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But I give all fragrances a chance. It's a nice bottle. Metallic, and it has like a wooden cap on there. It's pretty sturdy. So we're gonna give this a spray and see what this do. See if it's truly a unisex fragrance or, you know, something that's, you know, marketed toward women. But we're gonna give it a spray, check the atomizer, give it a smell, see how well it does in the air. Atomizer is a little more stronger than the Assads. Okay. Okay. Projecting pretty good. It doesn't smell feminine. It doesn't, I don't get that feel feminine. However, it does smell grapefruity and pink pepper. You can also kind of smell the earthy tone to it. It's not a bright, vibrant vibe that I get from it. It's definitely strong. I'm gonna see how it, smells off skin, because something, the fragrance usually changes from the air and off skin. So I'm gonna give it a spray to the skin and see how it performs on my skin. Now, I haven't worn any of these fragrances. I just opened it. Y'all saw I just, opened these and did an initial fragrance review, a test of them. So I would still have to see, how they perform once I, put them into rotation and start wearing them. So as of right now, the Assad, Zanzibar, and Assad bourbon, pretty good buys. I get them thumbs up. I get those thumbs up. And if I had the opportunity to buy them, without even reviewing them, I would do it again. So, good buys. I'm grateful that I got those. Took a chance on them, and I'm glad that I got them. Now, this doesn't really project off of skin, that pronounced. This is more of a close to skin fragrance, in my opinion. It doesn't have a smell like anything that I've ever smelled before. I'll give it that. I don't have any fragrances that, are pretty similar to this smell. Man, what's going on with this cap? Now, I'm not liking this cap. You got to make sure with this cap, you have to make sure that you put this cap on the right way, or else it won't lock in. But it's the cap, so. But yeah, this is a close to skin fragrance. It's nothing to call home about. It's nothing that, kind of like raise balloons and whistles and bells and will make you wonder who got that on, or ask, what are you wearing? It's not one of those fragrances. In fact, I'm kind of a little, disappointed in Lattafa with this fragrance. And that's just off of the initial, spraying of it and putting it on skin. To me, it's not doing what it should do. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, they created it to do exactly what it's doing. And to me, it's not doing it for me. So this is a fragrance that I myself is not too excited about. If I had the opportunity to buy it again, like if I saw it in the store without, smelling it and not having it, I wouldn't purchase it again. To me, it's not, it does nothing for me. I can't see myself saying it's a fragrance that, if I'm looking at all my fragrances, it's not a fragrance that I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna grab this, I wanna wear this today. No, it's not one of those fragrances. So yeah, this is not something that, I would tell someone, hey, look, go out and grab this. Nah, this not that. So if you see it, you know, do some research on it. See if it's something that you think you would like. I'm not going to get my blessing on it. I'm not going to tell you to go and grab it. You know, if you see it and you saw this review and you still want to go get it, do you. I respect that. It's your fragrance, it's your body, it's, you know, it's your image, it's how you want to smell. You know, it's, you know, if you're interested. However, me, I can't really see myself wearing this. I can't see myself wearing it. I'm just not, it does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. So this is, you know, it was only, you know, 19 bucks, $20. So it's not a major hit. It happens. You know, we jump out there, we see something that piques our interest. We bring it home, we test it, and it may not make the cut. But that's what blind buying is. And this is why I wouldn't, like if I saw this for 60 or 70 bucks, I would not blind buy it. I wouldn't even take the chance on it. 20 bucks, I'll take the chance on it. See how it is. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. And this one, in my opinion, it's, you know, thumbs down. That's just my opinion, according to how I want to smell. It does nothing for me, you know. And I'm not knocking anybody else, you know, on their reviews about it, because to them it may smell, you know, the way that they want to smell, and I can respect that. You know, all fragrances are subjective. You know, they're based on what we as individuals smell and what we as individuals would like to smell like. And for your boy, I definitely don't want to smell like that. So I'm gonna conclude this video. I think that, you know, great buys, great buys. Glad, you know, that I grabbed these. You know, I'm loving them already. Definitely gonna wear those. This one here, you know, not so much. And I just might even stay away from anything that resembles this. That has this box or name. The line, I'm removing the line from my mind. Like, I'm not even gonna take another gamble on any Lattafa Arduas, because this one kind of, you know, let me down. It disappointed me to the point where, yeah, I'm good on that. So thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, share it if possible. If you think somebody else need, you know, to hear this, was thinking about grabbing these, you know, do your due diligence, you know, send it to them for information purposes, entertainment purposes, for whatever purposes. Thanks again. It's your boy, Zebo708, and I'm out. Peace.